Find a position that feels truly comfortable and let our journey begin. Allow your shoulders to soften and release. Let the space between your eyebrows grow smooth. Take a deep, slow breath in, feeling the clean air fill your lungs. And now exhale slowly, gently, letting go of the weight of the day. There is nothing you need to do right now, nowhere else you need to be. There is only this moment here in this perfect stillness. Your mind is now a calm lake, and my words are merely gentle ripples, spreading relaxation to every part of your being. Tonight, let your mind drift away to an old European city, a place seemingly forgotten by time. The city is asleep, wrapped in a soft and persistent drizzle. The rain isn't heavy or rushed. It falls like a thin silk veil, blanketing the moss-covered rooftops and washing the centuries-old cobblestone streets. You can hear the rain, a perfect soundtrack for sleep. The gentle patter on the awnings, the soft trickling in the gutters, and the whisper of the wind as it moves through the narrow alleyways. Your mind wanders through this sleeping city, not on foot, but as if you are floating weightless as a leaf. You drift past darkened windows and silent squares where only the echo of the rain remains. You turn down a small alley so narrow you feel you could stretch out your arms and touch both cool, damp stone walls at once. The cobblestones beneath a single amber street lamp glisten like a river of stars. The air carries the scent of damp earth, of ancient stone, and of a profound old-world quiet. A feeling of absolute safety envelops you. Here in this alley, the noisy world outside simply ceases to exist. And then at the far end of the alley, you see a single warm source of light. A gentle honey-colored glow radiates from the window of a small shop. The light is an invitation, a promise of warmth and shelter. You draw closer, your steps making no sound on the wet stones. A wooden sign, hand-carved and weathered by years of rain and sun, hangs above the door. You can just make out the words, "Antique Umbrella Repair." Through the glass panes streaked with rivulets of rain, you peer inside. It is a tiny space, yet it holds an entire world. Lining the walls are umbrellas standing neatly in large ceramic pots or hanging from brass hooks. These are not modern, mass-produced objects. Each one is a work of art, a witness to history. There are umbrellas with canopies of intricately embroidered silk, others with frames of perfectly curved bamboo. But most captivating are the handles, one of polished ebony so dark and smooth it reflects the lamplight, another of tarnished silver sculpted into the shape of a swift in flight, another still of ivory aged to a warm cream, cool and solid to the imagined touch. Each umbrella seems to hold its own story, its own soul, resting quietly in the stillness of the shop. The wooden door is slightly ajar. You push it open gently. A small brass bell tied to the door chimes a single clear note that rings out before melting back into the quiet of the room. Instantly you feel a shift. The air inside is warm and dry, a stark contrast to the damp chill of the alley. A unique fragrance wraps around you. It is the scent of old oak from the floorboards and the workbench, the scent of aged textiles, of silk and cotton that have rested here for ages, and beneath it all, the faint, sweet smell of beeswax used to polish the wood. In the center of the shop sits a large wooden workbench, its surface scarred with the nicks and grooves of countless hours of labor. There, under the warm glow of a brass desk lamp, an old craftsman is at work. His back is slightly bent, his hair is as white as spun silk, and his eyes behind a pair of round spectacles are focused entirely on the task before him. He doesn't look up as you enter. It seems as if his entire universe has shrunk to his hands and the object they so carefully hold. You stand in silence, just observing. There is a deep peace in witnessing such quiet dedication. He is working on an umbrella of jade green silk. Its canopy is torn in several places. His hands, gnarled and slender but surprisingly nimble, are methodically detaching each bamboo rib from the metal frame. Every movement is slow, deliberate, and full of purpose. There are no wasted gestures, no sense of hurry. The tiny, soft click, as a rib is freed from its joint, is the only sound that breaks the silence apart from the constant hushed whisper of the rain outside. You take a deep breath, matching your own rhythm to the slow, steady pace of the room. You breathe in the warmth, the scent of wood and old fabric. You breathe out all your thoughts, all your worries. You feel the solid floor beneath you, the strength of the old oak. You notice how the golden lamplight catches motes of dust dancing in the air like tiny stars in a private cosmos. Let your eyes wander around the shop. On a high shelf, bolts of silk in rich colors are stacked neatly, deep burgundy, ocean blue, saffron yellow. Beside them are small wooden boxes filled with tiny treasures, brass clasps, silver tips for the ribs, and countless spools of silk thread in every imaginable shade. Everything is organized with a loving precision that speaks to a deep respect for the craft. Behind the old craftsman, a large window looks out onto a river. The river flows slowly, its dark surface reflecting the distant city lights, which shimmer and blur in the rain. The sound of the water is a soft, continuous murmur, blending with the patter of the rain to create a symphony of tranquility. You feel as if you are wrapped in a safe cocoon. Outside is the night and the storm, but in here you are sheltered, warmed by the golden light, by the silent presence of the artisan, and by this space where time itself seems to have paused. Focus now on the old man's hands. You can see the fine blue veins on their backs, the calluses on his fingertips, the loving imprints of decades of meticulous work. He has finished removing the tattered silk canopy. Now he sets the bare frame of the umbrella aside and unrolls a new piece of jade green silk across the bench. The fabric is smooth, shimmering under the lamp. He picks up a wooden ruler and a small sliver of tailor's chalk and begins to measure and draw perfect curving lines on the fabric's surface. His movements are unhurried, almost ceremonial. Each action is performed with infinite patience and reverence. This is not merely a repair, it is a restoration, a breathing of new life into something that was once broken. And as you watch, a profound sense of stillness settles over you, smoothing out all the rough edges of your mind. The craftsman sets down the chalk, leaving a fine, ghostly white line curving across the expanse of shimmering green silk. Your eyes follow that line, a perfect arc that holds the promise of a new canopy, a new shelter from the rain. He reaches for a pair of shears resting on a felt cloth nearby. They are old, made of heavy, dark steel, with brass handles worn smooth and lustrous by the grip of his hand over countless years. They are not just a tool, they are an extension of his will, a familiar weight that knows its purpose intimately. He opens the blades, and they make a faint, satisfying shing sound, the sound of well-oiled, perfectly aligned steel. He positions the shears at the start of the chalk line. For a moment he pauses. His eyes, magnified by his spectacles, scan the line one last time. In this pause, the world seems to hold its breath with him. The only sounds are the gentle murmur of the river and the soft drumming of rain on the window pane. It is a moment of pure presence, of complete mindfulness. You feel your own mind quiet down, focusing with him drawn into this small sacred act. Then, with a slow and steady pressure, he begins to cut. The sound is one of the most satisfying things you have ever heard. It is not a harsh snip, but a long whispering sigh, a soft shh as the sharp steel glides through the tightly woven silk. The fabric parts effortlessly cleanly, leaving behind a perfect sealed edge. It is the sound of separation, clean and final, yet also the sound of creation. He follows the chalk line with a surgeon's precision, his hand moving in one fluid, unbroken motion. The shears seem to flow a silver fish swimming through a sea of green. You watch, mesmerized by the rhythm of it. The open, the slide, the close, the whisper of the cut, the gentle fall of the excess fabric onto the wooden bench. Each panel of the future umbrella is born from this quiet, deliberate dance. As he continues this meditative task, your gaze is free to wander once more, to drink in the details of this sanctuary. You drift towards the wall where the finished and waiting umbrellas stand at attention. You notice a collection of walking stick umbrellas, their handles telling stories of forgotten gentlemen and leisurely strolls in the park. One handle is carved from Malacca cane, its surface a mottled pattern of brown and gold, polished to a warm glow. You can almost feel its smooth, organic texture in your palm, the reassuring weight of it. Next to it stands an umbrella with a handle of mother of pearl. Even in the soft light, it catches the glow and refracts it into a subtle rainbow of pinks, blues, and greens. It is delicate, elegant, and cool to the imagined touch. It speaks of evenings at the opera, of horse-drawn carriages on wet city streets, and beside that a simple, sturdy umbrella with a handle of dark carved oak, shaped like the head of a hound. Its glass eyes seem to hold a loyal and patient wisdom. You can imagine it has been a faithful companion through decades of changing seasons, its canopy replaced many times, but its spirit remaining steadfast. Each handle is a silent promise of shelter, a small piece of artistry designed to be held to connect a person to the simple, profound act of staying dry. This place is not just a repair shop. It is a museum of saved things, of second chances. And beneath these visual details, the sounds of the shop continue their gentle lullaby. Allow your hearing to become more acute. Listen past the foreground sound of the craftsman's work. First, you hear the rain tapping directly on the large window pane in front of you. Each drop announces its arrival with a soft tick, a tiny, distinct note in the larger symphony. Then let your awareness expand to the sound of the rain on the roof above. It's a deeper, more resonant sound, a gentle, continuous drumming that makes the small shop feel even more like a cozy, safe den. It's the sound of being completely and utterly sheltered. Now listen even further. Can you hear the sound of the rain on the cobblestones outside in the alley? It is a softer, more diffuse sound, a collective hiss, the sound of millions of tiny droplets landing on ancient stone. And finally, let your hearing reach for the river. Behind all the sounds of the rain, there is the constant low murmur of the flowing water. It is not a dramatic sound, but a deep foundational hum, the slow, deep breath of the sleeping city. Rock, 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 rock. A timeless rhythm that has flowed through this city for centuries. These sounds are not a distraction, they are an anchor. They are real, and they are peaceful. Let them wash over you and through you, cleansing your mind of any lingering thoughts. The tick of the rain on the glass, the drum on the roof, the hiss on the stones, the murmur of the river. There is nothing to analyze, nothing to figure out. You are simply here, present, a quiet observer in a world of gentle sounds and soft light. Your own breath begins to follow this rhythm without any effort at all. You breathe in slowly, As the craftsman's shears slide through the silk, you breathe out completely as the sound fades, in and out. Each breath is a wave of relaxation, washing away tension from your muscles, starting at the top of your head and flowing all the way down to the tips of your toes. Feel your jaw unclench. Feel your neck soften. Feel the warmth spreading through your chest and into your arms. You are safe. You are comfortable. You are at peace. The craftsman has now finished cutting all 8 triangular panels of silk. He lays them out on the workbench in a perfect starburst pattern, their edges aligning with mathematical beauty. He picks up a small dark wooden box. Lifting the lid, you see it is filled with spools of silk thread, arranged by color like a painter's palette. He selects a spool of thread that is the exact shade of jade green as the fabric, a perfect match. He takes a fine, slender needle from a pin cushion shaped like a small tomato. The next phase of his quiet work is about to begin, the meticulous, patient process of stitching. And as he prepares, you feel yourself sinking even deeper into a state of profound calm, ready to follow him into the next slow, peaceful chapter of the night. He holds the needle up to the warm lamplight. It gleams for a moment, a tiny sliver of silver against the cozy darkness of the shop. You watch the simple, focused act of threading it. He does not squint or struggle. His hands, though old, are perfectly steady. He brings the end of the silk thread to his lips, moistening it slightly, and with one smooth, practiced motion guides it through the impossibly small eye of the needle. It is an act performed tens of thousands of times, an act that has become pure muscle memory, as natural to him as breathing. He pulls a length of thread through and snips it from the spool with a small pair of silver scissors, the blades making a delicate snip that barely registers in the quiet room. Now the real artistry begins. He picks up 2 of the triangular silk panels. He aligns their long edges with painstaking care, his fingertips gently smoothing the fabric so that they lay perfectly flat, one atop the other. There is no ruler, no guide. His senses have been honed over a lifetime. His fingers can feel a misalignment of a fraction of a millimeter. He holds the 2 pieces of fabric together between his thumb and forefinger, his hand a gentle, living clamp. He takes his first stitch. The needle pierces the 2 layers of silk. You almost expect a sound, but there is none. It is a silent entry, a quiet surrender of the fabric to the steel. He pushes the needle through, and you see its silver tip emerge on the other side. He pulls the thread, and the first stitch is formed a tiny, almost invisible anchor of green on green. Then he begins the rhythm of the seam. Plunge, pull, tighten. His hand moves with a grace that is mesmerizing. The needle rises and falls, a tiny dolphin, cresting through waves of jade green silk. The stitches he creates are incredibly small, perfectly even and flawlessly straight. It is a line of such precision that it could have been made by a machine, yet it possesses a warmth, an infinitesimal human variation that no machine could ever replicate. This is the beauty of the handmade, the soul of the artisan captured in thread. Plunge, pull, tighten. The repetitive motion is deeply hypnotic. As you watch his hand move back and forth, up and down, your mind begins to let go of its own repetitive thoughts. The worries of the day, the plans for tomorrow, they all begin to fade, replaced by the simple, peaceful reality of this moment. The needle goes in, the needle comes out. A seam is being created. Something new is being joined together from separate parts. It is a quiet metaphor for healing, for wholeness. You allow your focus to soften your gaze, to defocus slightly. The details of the room blur into a gentle watercolor of warm browns, deep greens, and soft golds. Your awareness shifts from sight to the other senses. Let's explore the textures of this room in your mind's eye. Imagine running your hand over the surface of the old wooden workbench. You can feel the grain of the oak worn smooth in some places from decades of work and rougher in others. You can trace the deep scratches and nicks, each one a memory of a different umbrella, a different repair, a different rainy day. The wood feels solid, dependable, and warm from the lamplight. Now, imagine the feeling of the raw silk the craftsman is working with. Picture yourself touching the bolt of uncut fabric. It would be cool and impossibly smooth, gliding under your fingertips like liquid. It has a weight to it, a substance that speaks of quality and durability. Contrast that with the feeling of an old, worn-out canopy, perhaps one lying in a basket in the corner. That fabric would be softer, limper, perhaps slightly frayed at the edges, holding the memory of countless raindrops and gusts of wind. Think of the handles again. Imagine the sensation of cool, heavy silver in your palm, its intricate carvings, a fascinating landscape for your thumb to explore. Then the organic warmth of polished wood, the way it seems to absorb the heat from your hand and hold it, and the unique glassy smoothness of ivory, a material that feels both ancient and alive. This shop is a symphony of textures, a rich tapestry for the senses that exists purely in your mind, a safe and comforting space for you to explore as you relax. Let's return to the sounds. Listen closely again to the craftsman. Beyond the major sounds of rain and river, there are micro sounds. The sound of his own breathing, a slow, steady rhythm in and out, the almost imperceptible whisper of the thread as he pulls it through the silk, the soft rustle of his clothing as he shifts his weight slightly in his wooden chair. These are the sounds of life, of quiet, purposeful existence. They are reassuring, grounding sounds that tell you all is well. The air in the shop holds its own story. You breathe in deeply. The dominant scent is still that of old wood and beeswax, a fragrance that is both clean and sweet. But now you can distinguish other more subtle notes. There is a faint metallic tang in the air, the smell of the steel tools and brass fittings. There is the dry, papery scent of the fabrics themselves, and carried in from the outside, mingling with the warmth of the shop, is the unmistakable smell of rain, that clean, earthy, life-giving scent of petrichor, the smell of wet stone and damp soil. It is a fragrance of renewal, of the world being washed clean. It seeps into the cozy space, not as an intrusion, but as a gentle reminder of the safe, wet world outside your warm haven. The craftsman has finished the first seam. He has joined two panels together. He lays them flat, running his thumb over the line of stitches, a final gentle inspection. Satisfied, he picks up a third panel and aligns it with the edge of the first two, and the process begins again. Plunge, pull, tighten. Your body responds to this patient rhythm. You feel your muscles becoming heavy, loose, and deeply relaxed. A pleasant warmth spreads through your limbs, a sign of true deep rest. You are sinking, but it is a wonderful sensation, sinking into your bed, into comfort, into tranquility. Each stitch he makes seems to be stitching your mind to the present moment, mending the frayed edges of your own thoughts, making you whole and calm again. You are not trying to fall asleep. You are simply allowing sleep to find you here in this timeless, peaceful place, and it is drawing closer with every silent pass of the needle. with every soft drop of rain. The craftsman's needle continues its steady rhythmic journey. Seam after seam, the starburst of green silk panels grows. 4 panels are now joined, forming a perfect half circle of fabric that drapes elegantly over the edge of the workbench. He works without haste, his entire being poured into this single focused task. It is a form of meditation, a moving stillness, and by simply witnessing it, you are invited into the same state of serene focus. The outside world, with its demands and its noise, has dissolved completely. All that exists is the warm lamplight, the gentle sounds of the shop, and the slow, deliberate creation of beauty. Let your attention drift from the craftsman to the light itself. Notice how the lamplight fills the room. It is not a harsh, bright light, but a soft, golden glow that seems to have substance and weight. It pools on the surface of the workbench, making the green silk radiate with an inner luminescence. It catches the edges of the brass tools, making them gleam with a warm, coppery light. It casts long, soft-edged shadows that dance gently whenever the craftsman moves. The corners of the shop are draped in these deep, peaceful shadows, creating a sense of mystery and depth. The shadows are not frightening, they are comforting. They are places for the eyes to rest, spaces of quiet and calm that make the circle of warm light feel even more intimate and secure. This light creates a world within a world, a haven of warmth, surrounded by the cool blue-gray of the rainy night outside. Look towards the window again. The raindrops trace winding, unpredictable paths down the glass, distorting the view of the world beyond. The distant lights from across the river are no longer sharp points, but soft, blurry orbs of light, like watercolor paints bled onto wet paper. The window is a barrier, but it is also a connection. It allows you to hear the rain, to see its effects, but it keeps you perfectly safe, dry, and warm. You are an observer of the storm, not a participant. This feeling of being sheltered, of being in a safe harbor while the weather does its work outside, is one of the deepest forms of comfort. Allow yourself to sink into that feeling. Let it fill you up. The feeling of being completely and utterly safe. As the craftsman pauses to select a new length of thread, his gaze happens to fall upon a small framed photograph propped up on a shelf behind him. It is an old black and white photo of a smiling woman and a young boy holding a large dark umbrella together in what looks like a sun-drenched park. The craftsman looks at it for a long moment, a faint, gentle smile touching his lips. It is a fleeting expression, but it fills the room with a profound sense of love and history. This shop is not just a place of business. It is his life. Every tool, every scrap of fabric is imbued with memories, with a quiet legacy of care. The air feels thick with nostalgia, not a sad or painful kind, but a warm, sweet melancholy, like the scent of old books or the melody of a half-forgotten song. It adds another layer of depth and peace to the atmosphere, a sense of a life well lived, of purpose found in simple, honest work. He turns back to his task, the gentle smile lingering in his eyes. He has now joined 6 of the 8 panels. The shape of the umbrella canopy is truly taking form. He gathers the fabric, its weight now more substantial, and begins the 7th seam. Plunge, pull, tighten. Let's focus on your own body now. Bring your awareness to the points of contact between your body and the surface you are resting on. Feel the gentle pressure, the support. Feel the weight of your own limbs. Acknowledge this feeling of being held, of being supported. You do not need to hold yourself up. You can let go completely. Allow gravity to do its work. drawing all the tension out of your muscles, pulling it down, down, and away from you. Feel the weight of your head on the pillow. Let your neck muscles release completely. Feel the weight of your arms heavy and relaxed at your sides. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest and abdomen with each slow breath. Notice how, with each exhale, your body seems to sink just a little bit deeper into comfort, a little bit deeper into stillness. Your body knows how to rest. All you have to do is give it permission. And you give it that permission now. You are letting go. The craftsman completes the 7th seam. Only one more to go. He now holds a nearly complete circle of beautifully stitched silk. He carefully aligns the final 2 edges. This last seam will close, the circle will make the canopy whole. As he prepares for this final line of stitches, a gust of wind presses against the old building. You can hear it as a low moan, a mournful sound, as it funnels through the narrow alley. The rain intensifies for a moment, drumming more insistently on the roof. The flame inside the desk lamp flickers, causing the shadows to leap and dance for a second before steadying once more. Instead of feeling alarmed, you feel an even deeper sense of security. The sturdy stone walls of the shop do not yield. The steady hand of the craftsman does not falter. The warm light holds its ground. The storm can rage outside, but in here, in this small pocket of tranquility, all is calm. The contrast only serves to heighten the feeling of peace within. It's like being a child again, tucked safely in bed, while a thunderstorm passes overhead, knowing you are protected and loved. You are in your sanctuary. He begins the final seam. Plunge, pull, tighten. His movements are as measured and serene as they were for the very first stitch. There is no rush to finish, only a quiet dedication to the process itself. Each stitch is as important as the last. This is the essence of mindfulness, not hurrying towards a destination, but finding peace and meaning in the journey, in each small step along the way. As you watch him close the final gap, you feel a sense of completion within yourself. The scattered pieces of your own mind, the worries, and the to-do lists are being gently stitched together into a single peaceful whole. The circle is closing. You are becoming calm. You are becoming still. You are becoming ready for sleep. With a final meticulous stitch, the circle is complete. The craftsman pulls the thread, taut knots it with a swift, expert motion of his fingers, and snips the excess thread. The canopy is now one whole piece, a perfect 8-sided polygon of jade green silk, lying like a giant folded leaf upon the workbench. He runs his hand over the final seam, his touch both an inspection and a gentle caress. A quiet satisfaction seems to emanate from him, the peaceful aura of a job well done, but the work is not yet finished. The next stage requires a different kind of skill, a different set of tools. He sets the newly sewn canopy aside for a moment, draping it carefully over a wooden dowel so it does not wrinkle. He then picks up the bare umbrella frame that has been waiting patiently. It looks skeletal, a delicate metallic structure of ribs and stretchers, all converging at a central shaft. He holds it up to the light, turning it slowly, inspecting every joint, every hinge. He places the frame in a specially designed vise on his bench, a padded clamp that holds the wooden handle securely without scratching it. He reaches for a small can of oil and a piece of soft, clean flannel. With the precision of a watchmaker, he applies a single, tiny drop of oil to each of the joints where the metal ribs connect. Then with the cloth, he works the oil in, gently wiping away any excess. As he does this, he opens and closes the frame, slightly listening. He is listening for the sound of the mechanism. He wants to hear nothing but a smooth, buttery whisper as the metal parts move against each other. No squeaks, no grinding, no hesitation. It is a process of tuning, of ensuring a fluid and silent grace in the umbrella's movement. The sounds of this process are subtle and deeply calming. The soft click of the oil can opening, the gentle squish as a drop is applied, the whisper of the cloth on the metal, the faint, smooth swoosh of the oiled joints moving. These are quiet, intimate sounds that draw you further into the focused world of the shop. They are sounds of care, of attention to the smallest details, and they communicate a sense of reliability of things being made right. As he works, let your mind drift to the concept of repair. This entire shop is dedicated to it, not to replacement, not to discarding the old for the new, but to mending, to restoring, to honoring the history of an object by giving it a future. There is a profound peacefulness in this idea. It suggests that what is broken can be made whole again, that imperfections are not endings but opportunities for care and attention. The kintsugi art he practiced on the gash in the silk, now filled not with gold but with nearly invisible thread, speaks of a quiet resilience, a beauty found not in flawlessness but in the loving act of restoration. This thought is like a gentle balm for the soul. It whispers that you too can be mended, that the stresses and strains of the day can be smoothed over, and that you can be restored to a state of wholeness and peace through rest. Now that the frame is perfectly lubricated and tuned, the craftsman retrieves the silk canopy. This is the most delicate part of the entire process, attaching the new fabric to the frame. He drapes the canopy over the closed frame, finding the small central hole he left in the fabric and fitting it over the top of the umbrella's shaft. He secures it with a small threaded cap, screwing it down until it is snug. The green silk now hangs around the frame like a cloak. He begins the patient work of attaching the canopy to the tips of the 8 ribs. At the corner of each panel he has sewn a tiny reinforced loop of thread. The tip of each metal rib has a small blunted point with a hole in it like the eye of a large needle. Using the same green silk thread, he begins to lash the fabric loops to the tips of the ribs. This is fingertip work requiring immense concentration and a steady hand. He uses a small curved needle for this task. He passes the thread through the loop, then through the hole in the rib back and forth several times, creating a small, strong binding. He pulls each wrap of thread tight his fingers, moving with a deftness that belies his age. Then he ties a series of tiny, intricate knots that will never come undone. One by one, he secures the corners of the canopy to the tips of the ribs. Secure, wrap, knot. It is a slow and repetitive process. As you watch him, your sense of time continues to dissolve. Is it minutes or hours that have passed? It doesn't matter. Here in this shop, time is measured not by the ticking of a clock, but by the completion of tasks, by the rhythm of patient work. This freedom from the tyranny of time is a profound form of liberation for the mind. It allows your brain to shift from its active problem-solving state to a more passive, receptive, and restful state. You are simply floating on the river of this experience, carried along by its gentle current. Let's return to your breath. Notice its rhythm. Has it become slower, deeper? Without forcing it, simply observe it. Feel the air enter your nostrils slightly cool. Follow its path down into your lungs. Feel your chest and belly expand gently. Then feel the release of the exhale, the air now slightly warmer, as it leaves your body carrying with it any remaining tension. Each breath is an anchor to the present moment. Each breath is a wave of calm. If a thought arises, as it naturally will simply acknowledge it without judgment, and gently guide your attention back to the sensation of your breath, back to the sound of the rain, back to the image of the craftsman's hands, secure, wrap, knot. He is now on the final rib. The canopy is stretched taut across the frame, though it is not yet open. The beautiful jade green color seems even more vibrant now that it has a structure to hold it. He finishes the last knot, snips the thread, and for a moment he simply holds the restored umbrella in his hands. He runs his palm over the smooth, tight surface of the silk. He inspects his work from every angle. It is a moment of quiet communion between the maker and the made. The final critical test is about to come, the opening of the umbrella, but he is in no hurry. The pause itself is part of the process, a moment of reverence before the final reveal. And in this pause, you feel your own body grow even heavier, even stiller, sinking deeper and deeper into a state of perfect repose. The moment hangs suspended in the warm, quiet air of the shop. The craftsman holds the closed umbrella upright, its pointed tip resting on the felt cloth covering his workbench. His hand rests on the runner, the part of the mechanism that slides up the shaft to open the canopy. For a long moment he does nothing. He just breathes, and you breathe with him. In this shared stillness, the background symphony of the shop seems to grow richer. The gentle patter of the rain becomes more distinct, 1,000 tiny drumbeats on the roof and window. The low murmur of the river outside feels like a deep, resonant hum that you can feel in your chest. The quiet ticking of a very old grandfather clock in a shadowy corner of the room, a sound you hadn't even consciously registered before, now emerges, a slow, steady heartbeat marking the passage of peaceful time. Tick, tock, tick, tock. His thumb presses against the release catch, and with a soft, satisfying click, the mechanism is unlocked. Then, with one slow, deliberate, and incredibly smooth motion, he pushes the runner up the central shaft. There is a beautiful sound as the umbrella opens. It is a chorus of quiet noises happening all at once. A soft whomp as the air catches the silk, a gentle rustle of the fabric as it stretches to its full dimension, a series of tiny, perfectly oiled clicks as the stretchers lock into place against the ribs. It is the sound of a flower blooming in fast motion, of a bird spreading its wing. The umbrella opens into a perfect taut dome of jade green silk, a flawless circle of shelter born from his patient hands. He holds it open, turning it slowly under the lamplight. The light shines through the fine silk, making it glow from within like a lantern carved from a single piece of jade. The seams are perfect. The tension is uniform. Not a single pucker or flaw mars its surface. It is a beautiful object, made whole again, ready to face the rain. He gives it a gentle shake, and you can see a few motes of dust, invisible until now, dance away from its surface in the golden light. He smiles again, that same quiet, contented smile from before. It is the deep, peaceful satisfaction that comes from creating, from restoring, from bringing order and beauty out of brokenness. He keeps the umbrella open, setting its handle in one of the large ceramic pots on the floor to let it air out. Its vibrant green canopy now acts as a new ceiling for this corner of the shop, a splash of vibrant life in the cozy wood-toned room. The light from the lamp hits its underside, reflecting a soft green glow onto the craftsman's face and hands, giving his skin a gentle, ethereal quality. His main task for the night is complete, but his work is not done. The rhythm of the shop now changes slightly. The intense focus of the repair gives way to a more relaxed, gentle pace of tidying up. These are the final calming rituals of a day's end. He begins by carefully gathering the scraps of green silk that were cut away. He does not discard them. Instead, he folds them neatly and places them into a large wooden chest filled with other fabric remnants of all colors, textures, and sizes. It is a treasure chest of potential, a library of saved pieces that might one day find a new purpose in a patch, a lining, or some other small repair. Nothing is wasted. This gentle act of conservation adds to the deep sense of peace in the room. It speaks of a philosophy of respect, of finding value in things that others might throw away. Next, he takes the old tattered canopy he removed earlier. He inspects it one last time, perhaps salvaging a small intact piece, before folding the rest and placing it in a separate basket for disposal. He then begins to clean his workbench. He sweeps the stray threads and dust into a small brass dustpan with a soft bristled brush. The swish-swish of the brush against the wood is a wonderfully soothing, repetitive sound. It is the sound of cleansing, of resetting, of preparing for a new day. You feel this cleansing happening within your own mind. With each sweep of his brush, it's as if a stray thought, a lingering worry is being gently swept away from the surface of your consciousness, leaving it clearer, calmer, and more spacious. Swish, swish, let go. Swish, swish, release. After sweeping, he takes a block of beeswax from a tin and a soft cloth. He begins to rub the beeswax into the surface of the old wooden bench. As he rubs, the friction warms the wax, and a beautiful, sweet, honey-like fragrance is released into the air, mingling with the scent of rain and old wood. This scent is incredibly grounding and comforting. It smells of nature, of tradition, of things that are pure and wholesome. He polishes the wood in slow, circular motions, his hand moving rhythmically. The worn, scarred surface of the bench begins to take on a deep, lustrous sheen under his care, its natural grain and color enriched and revived. It is another act of love, of giving back to the tool that has served him so faithfully. As you inhale this sweet, warm scent of beeswax, you can feel the last remnants of tension melting from your body. Your limbs feel heavy pleasantly, so as if they are made of warm flowing honey. Your eyelids are heavy too. It feels so good to let them close, to shut out the world and retreat into the peaceful darkness behind them. You no longer need to see the shop. You have absorbed it with all your senses. You can feel its warmth, hear its sounds, and smell its unique fragrances. It is a part of you now, a safe room you have built within your own mind, a place you can return to whenever you need rest. The craftsman's slow polishing motions are like a mantra, lulling you deeper and deeper into a state of pre-sleep tranquility, circle after circle, breath after breath, peace. With the workbench cleaned and polished, glowing with a soft luster under the lamplight, the craftsman begins the process of putting his tools away. This is not a quick or careless act. It is a ritual performed with the same reverence he gives to his repairs. Each tool is treated like a trusted friend. He picks up the heavy steel shears, wipes the blades clean with an oily cloth to prevent rust, and lays them gently into a custom-fitted groove in a shallow wooden tray. They settle into place with a soft, solid thud. He gathers the fine needles and pins his gnarled fingers, surprisingly delicate, as he plucks them from the pincushion. He returns them to a small magnetized dish, where they arrange themselves in a neat, shimmering row, safe and accounted for. The small curved needle used for the final stitching is wiped and placed in its own felt-lined compartment. This careful organization is deeply soothing to watch in your mind's eye. It is the creation of order, the quieting of chaos. It tells your subconscious mind that everything is in its right place, that all is well, and that it is safe to let go and rest. He takes the spools of thread he used and winds the loose ends securely around them before placing them back into their wooden box. You hear the soft, satisfying clicks of the lid closing, a sound of finality and containment. The tailor's chalk, the wooden ruler, the thimble, each item is returned to its designated spot on the shelves or in the drawers of the workbench. The soft sounds of this process are a gentle, percussive rhythm for your descent into sleep. The slide of a wooden drawer, opening, the gentle clatter of a thimble being dropped inside, the soft whisper of the drawer closing again. Each sound is a small step leading you further down the path of relaxation. Let your physical body follow this lead. Just as he is putting his tools away, you can put away the tensions of your day. Start with your feet. Consciously release any tightness in your arches, your heels, your toes. Let them go completely limp and heavy. Then move your awareness up to your calves and shins. Let them soften and release. Let this wave of relaxation flow into your knees and up into your thighs, feeling the large muscles grow slack and warm. The day's walking, standing, and striving is over. Your legs have served you well, and now they can have a complete and total rest. The craftsman now turns his attention to the rest of the shop. He moves slowly, his footsteps making soft, shuffling sounds on the old oak floorboards. He straightens a few of the umbrellas standing in the large ceramic pots, adjusting their position slightly, ensuring they are perfectly upright. He runs a feather duster along a shelf, its soft plumes gathering invisible dust in a silent, graceful dance. These are the small, loving gestures of a person who is deeply connected to their environment, a person who finds peace in caring for their space. This sense of care creates a powerful feeling of safety that envelops you like a warm, heavy blanket. He walks over to the old grandfather clock in the corner. You hear the small glass door creak open. He reaches inside for the large brass key. He inserts it into the keyhole and begins to wind the clock. The sound is a slow, rhythmic, mechanical rrr, the sound of stored energy of time being coiled and contained. It's a nostalgic, comforting sound from a bygone era. It is the sound of a steady, reliable heartbeat being restored to the room. After a few turns, he stops. He closes the glass door, and the clock resumes its steady, unhurried tick-tock, a rhythm that will faithfully measure the quiet hours of the night as you sleep. Now you allow the wave of relaxation in your body to continue its upward journey. Let it flow through your hips and pelvis, releasing the deep muscles there. Let your lower back soften and spread out. Let the relaxation climb your spine vertebra by vertebra all the way up to your neck. Feel the muscles along your spine letting go of their duty to hold you up, surrendering to the support beneath you. A profound sense of release washes over you. The craftsman's final act of the evening is to prepare a cup of tea. He moves to a small alcove where a single gas burner and a copper kettle sit. You hear the click of the burner being lit, followed by a soft whoosh as the blue flame comes to life. He fills the kettle with water from a porcelain jug, and the sound of the water splashing inside is clear and cool. He places the kettle on the flame. Now a new sound joins the shop's symphony, the low, gentle hiss of the flame, a sound of warmth and transformation. He takes a small ceramic mug from a hook and a tin of loose-leaf tea from a shelf. He opens the tin, and you can imagine the subtle, fragrant aroma of chamomile and lavender filling the small space, a scent designed purely for calm and sleep. He spoons some of the dried herbs into his mug, the tiny leaves and flower buds, making a soft, rustling sound as they fall. He stands by the stove, waiting for the water to heat, his hands clasped behind his back. He looks out the large window at the rain, which has now softened again into a gentle, steady drizzle. The river flows on, dark and silent. In this moment of quiet waiting, the entire shop seems to be holding a collective, peaceful breath, and you wait with him, your own mind quiet, your body still. The only thing to do is listen to the flame and wait for the kettle to sing. There is no rush. There is only this peaceful, expectant stillness as you drift ever closer to the edge of sleep. The soft hiss of the gas flame is a constant soothing hum. It is a sound of gentle, controlled energy, a tiny domesticated fire providing warmth and comfort against the damp night. You focus on this sound, letting it fill your awareness. It is a simple sound, uncomplicated and deeply grounding. As you listen, you feel the wave of physical relaxation continue its journey through your body. It spreads across your abdomen, allowing your stomach to soften. It moves up into your chest, creating a feeling of openness and ease around your heart. And it flows out into your shoulders, melting away the knots of tension that often gather there. Feel your shoulders drop heavy and loose, releasing the last of the day's burdens. Slowly, a new sound begins to emerge from the copper kettle. At first, it is just a low rumble, a deep vibration as the water at the bottom begins to stir with heat. It is a sound you can almost feel more than hear, a gentle tremor that seems to resonate with the deep calm in your own body. This rumbling gradually grows, becoming a soft, simmering sound, the sound of a million tiny bubbles forming and rising. It is the sound of anticipation, of something warm and comforting being prepared. The craftsman remains perfectly still, gazing out the window. He is not impatient. He is simply present, listening to the language of the kettle, a language he has understood for many years. His stillness is an invitation for you to be still too, to simply be without striving, without doing, to rest in this moment held safely within the cocoon of the little shop. The air is thick with the blended aromas of beeswax, old wood, damp earth from the rain, and now the faint herbal promise of chamomile tea. It is the scent of pure tranquility. Your wave of relaxation now flows down your arms. Feel it moving through your biceps and triceps, down past your elbows and into your forearms. Let your arms become completely heavy, as if they are gently sinking into the surface beneath you. The relaxation pools in your hands. Unclench your fists if they are tight. Let your fingers curl naturally, softly. Feel a gentle warmth spreading through your palms and into each fingertip. Your hands have done so much today. Now they are at rest. They are still. The simmering sound in the kettle builds to a gentle, steady song, and then finally the whistle begins to blow. It is not a shrill or jarring sound. It is an old brass whistle, and it produces a soft, mellow, single-note hum. It is the sound of completion, a gentle announcement that the warmth is ready. The craftsman turns from the window, switches off the flame with a quiet click, and the sudden silence that follows is profound. The hissing stops, the whistle fades, and for a moment, the only sounds are the rain and the clock. He lifts the steaming kettle from the stove. You hear the gentle clink of the copper base against the cast iron grate. He pours the hot water over the herbs in his mug. A cloud of fragrant steam billows up, carrying the calming scent of chamomile and lavender more strongly through the room. You can almost feel the warm, moist air on your face. He watches as the herbs swirl and dance in the hot water, slowly infusing it with their color and their essence. The water in the mug gradually turns a pale golden yellow, the color of late afternoon sunlight. He leaves the tea to steep on the counter, a small saucer covering the mug to trap the heat and aroma. He then moves to his worn, comfortable-looking armchair that sits near the window, a small table beside it. He picks up a thick, leather-bound book from the table. You hear the faint creak of the leather as he opens it. The pages are thick and yellowed with age. You hear the soft, papery rustle as he turns a page, and then another finding his place. He settles into the chair with a soft sigh of contentment, the old springs of the chair groaning gently under his weight. He does not begin to read yet. He simply sits, the open book resting in his lap, listening to the rain. This is a man who knows the art of slowness, the value of the pause. He does not rush from one activity to the next. He allows for moments of quiet transition, moments to simply sit and be. This is your invitation to do the same. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do. You are simply resting, floating in this peaceful space. The journey is nearing its end. The need for vivid description is lessening. The need for deep relaxation is paramount. Let your final wave of relaxation complete its journey. Let it flow up through your neck, releasing any tension there. Let it soften your jaw, your cheeks, your mouth. Let the tiny muscles around your eyes release. And finally, let it smooth your forehead, erasing any lingering lines of worry. Your entire body, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, is now in a state of deep, profound rest. You are heavy, you are warm, you are completely at peace. The story is quieting down, and so is your mind, preparing to drift away on the gentle tide of sleep. The craftsman reaches over to the small table beside his chair and picks up his now steeped cup of tea. The ceramic mug is warm in his hands. You can hear the softest clink as he removes the saucer and places it on the table. He lifts the mug, and the fragrant steam wafts up, a final calming offering to the quiet air of the shop. He takes a slow, deliberate sip. You can hear the small, soft sound of him swallowing the warm, soothing liquid. It is a sound of simple, profound contentment, a small, quiet pleasure at the end of a long and peaceful day. He places the mug back on the saucer, the gentle clink of ceramic on ceramic echoing slightly in the stillness. He looks down at the open book in his lap, but his eyes seem unfocused, his gaze distant. He is not reading the words. He is reading the room, listening to the night. His senses are open, receptive to the peaceful atmosphere he has so carefully cultivated. He is simply being. And in his stillness, you find a deeper stillness within yourself. Your mind, which was once an active observer, is now becoming a passive participant in this scene of tranquility. The images are becoming softer, the edges blurring. The details are less important now than the overall feeling. The feeling is one of complete safety. The feeling is one of profound calm. The feeling is one of warmth and comfort. You are wrapped in these feelings like the softest, warmest blanket you have ever known. Let your attention rest gently on the rhythm of the rain. It has become even softer now, a fine, misty veil falling almost silently upon the world. It is no longer a sound you actively listen to. It has become a part of the silence itself. It is the texture of the quiet. It is a gentle, continuous whisper that says sleep, sleep, sleep. The river flows on a silent, dark ribbon of peace. The clock ticks on its rhythm, a steady, reassuring anchor in the deepening quiet. Tick, tock. Your own heartbeat slows to match it. Tick, tock. Slow and steady. The craftsman takes another slow sip of his tea. The warmth of the liquid spreads through him just as the warmth of relaxation spreads through you. He closes his eyes for a moment, just resting. His head leans back against the worn fabric of the armchair. His hands, which worked so skillfully just a short while ago, now rest motionlessly, one on the arm of the chair, the other loosely holding the warm mug. They are at peace. Your own body is now completely at rest. You are so heavy, so deeply relaxed. It feels as if you are sinking gently into the surface beneath you, as if it is a soft cloud ready to hold you and carry you into your dreams. It requires no effort to remain this still. In fact, it would require a great effort to move, and there is no reason to move. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, just this perfect, profound stillness. The line between your waking mind and your sleeping mind is beginning to dissolve. Thoughts may drift by, but they are like clouds passing in a vast, empty sky. They have no weight, no substance. You do not need to hold on to them. You can just let them go, watching them float by and disappear over the horizon. Your awareness is becoming diffuse, spreading out from the confines of your mind and merging with the peaceful atmosphere of the room. You are not just imagining the shop anymore. You are the shop. You are the warmth of the lamplight. You are the quiet strength of the oak floor. You are the steady rhythm of the rain. The craftsman's breathing becomes deeper, slower. He is on the verge of sleep himself, lulled by the warmth of his tea, the comfort of his chair, and the quiet symphony of the night. His book lies forgotten in his lap. The story of the day is over. A new story, the story of dreams, is about to begin. Your own breath is your guide now. Follow it, in and out. Each breath is a gentle wave carrying you further and further out from the shore of wakefulness, further and further out into the calm, deep ocean of sleep. You are safe. You are held. There is nothing to fear. The night is here to protect you. The quiet is here to heal you, and sleep is here to restore you. You can let go now. You can surrender completely to the peaceful, inevitable pull of slumber. The images fade, the sounds soften. There is only the feeling now, the feeling of peace, of release, of letting go. The lamplight seems to dim, growing softer, warmer, more like candlelight. The green umbrella in the corner dissolves into the comfortable shadows. The tools on the wall fade into memory. All that remains is the feeling of warmth and the gentle, steady sounds. Tick, tock goes the clock, a slow, dependable heartbeat in the dark. The rain has almost stopped, just a single drop now and then tapping gently on the glass, a soft tap, and then a long, peaceful silence. Tap, and then quiet. The craftsman's breath is now a soft, deep rhythm, in and out, the sound of perfect rest. His cup of tea grows cool on the table beside him. The book has slipped from his lap onto the floor, its pages whispering shut. He is asleep. The shop is asleep. The city is asleep. Your own breathing is all that is left, a slow, easy wave. Each breath carries you deeper, deeper into comfort, deeper into peace. The boundary is gone now. You are drifting, floating on a slow, dark river. It is so easy, so effortless. There is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to think about, just the gentle motion, the feeling of being carried, safe and warm, towards a deep and dreamless sleep. The last embers of thought fade to black. There is only the darkness now, a soft, velvety darkness, a welcoming quiet, and you let go. Safe and protected, you gently drift off into a deep sleep